So it's very important to keep in mind this is not a science again that is easy for you as a person doing this. Okay, as an astrologer, you are inheriting a lot of karmic burden on yourself. Okay, that is the reality. Someone else might have a different view about this. You might have a different understanding of this from your culture, but believe it or not, you are inheriting a lot of karma upon you. Okay, sometimes this karma is not only processed by you, it can also be passed on to your family. They are also going to process it, passed on to your generations. Okay, and it is like that because this is a science where you're dealing with other people. There is a lot of, you know, interactions that goes on, not interactions like I say from talking point of view, exchange of money point of view, exchange of information point of view. There is another entity that is influencing you also at the same time. Okay, keep that in mind. That's why you'll see many wise astrologers, like I said, they don't do readings. They're very smart. They don't take that burden because they know this is not something for them. Many, again, in India, they don't discuss so many things. They don't talk about all those things. Very few simple predictions, quick ones, 2 3 minute work, and then charge that money, take that money, get out of there. Because there is a lot of things happening here. Okay. So that's beyond, our understanding sometimes also. And for this reason, okay, I will tell you always speak the truth. Okay, always tell the truth and nothing but the truth, no matter how harsh that might be. Okay, do not hesitate to tell that. There is nothing wrong in telling the truth. Okay, because that is what is going to protect you in the end as an astrologer. Okay, why? Because I have to give an example of Shraddha karma. Okay, Shraddha is the karma that we do when people die in India. All right, this is the same kind of karmas that they do in Mexico. I think they do a bit of this in Eastern philosophies. They do in every country. I think Mexico they do the Day of the Dead in the Vrishchika Masa. It comes normally in the time of Scorpio in the year when it runs. The Mahalaya Amavasya comes. Okay, all these times we do Shraddha karmas. Shraddha karma, the root word of that is Shraddha. Shraddha means dedication and devotion. So Shraddha karmas are giving respect and recognizing your ancestors, okay, and doing Pinda Pradana. That means, giving the necessary things for their peace of mind, maintaining their heavenly realm in a peaceful, blissful state, and so on. There are so many reasons for that. Interested people, you can read the Garuda Purana, you will find all the answers there. Okay, but the Shraddha karma is done with a lot of efforts. Okay, it's done with a lot of dedication in India. Shraddha karma is extremely important. Okay, it's as important as any other ritual, as important as marriage. In fact, it is one of the five important yajnas that you have to do. Okay, I mentioned Ashwamedha Yaga and all those things. If you remember, among the yajnas, the fire sacrifice, the Shraddha karma is one of them. Okay, it's such a powerful yajna that you have to do to satisfy your ancestors and pitris. Okay, very important because if you don't do that, it will impact you literally. You have to carry over the generational trauma within you. Okay, how this will all get transferred, we can check that in astrology as well. Very easy to check. I will not go into that in this video, but we can do that. All right. So the Shraddha karma, whoever is doing that Shraddha karma, the priest, right? That is a special priest in India. Okay, he's not the priest that will conduct your marriage. He's not the priest that will come and do the Upanayana or the thread ceremony for your son. Okay, he's not the priest that will come and do pujas in your house or yajnas in your house. The Shraddha karma priest is a special priest who is trained to do that. Okay, it's a different realm altogether. This priest, he will not do other karmas because it will interfere with that. Okay, and this priest has his own practices that he has to do, which means, for instance, if there is shraddha that he has completed today. Someone passed away, he went and did all the death rituals. Okay, the death rituals are a complete 16-day process in India. Okay, it is not a one-day process. All right, it's 16 days we have to do that. A lot of intricacies, lot of trouble, lot of efforts go into that. Okay, it's not an easy process. So 16 days we practice that, and this person is participant in that for the whole 16 days. This priest, he comes to your house, he takes you to the cremation ground, he takes you to the graveyard, he does all these karmas in a pure, dedicated manner. Okay, authentic priest, of course. So when this happens, right, the Shraddha karma happens, he has inherited that karma of your family. He was sort of enmeshed with your family. He became part of your family. He became part of that Atma when it was receding and leaving the body, right? The soul takes 16 days to leave the body and then go into the heavenly realm towards the Yamaloka. That journey itself is 1 year. Okay, same like we have a journey of birth, which takes 9 months for the soul to reach the Yamaloka after it leaves the body. It is also a 1 year process. Okay, so he's part of that process, the priest, right? So now what he does, because he's part of the process, he's sort of enmeshed into it. He will chant at least several thousand Gayatri mantras. Okay, maybe thousand, maybe 10,000, maybe 20,000. It depends on his lineage. All right, that is one simple example I'm giving you. There are other things also they will do, but that Gayatri mantra is chanted to just equate, it's like balancing that act where he has offset his energy levels, where he was enmeshed with some other energy levels. To balance that, this Gayatri mantras will bring that to balance. It is that powerful. Okay, what is powerful? Of course, the Gayatri mantra is more powerful here in the positive energy wise. But the enmeshment and the energy, that intertwining of energy that happens with the soul of another person for the priest is also that powerful. Okay. Now, this work of an astrologer or any occultist or any esoteric person, any healer in esoteric sciences, Reiki healing, any bodily work that they do, tantric healing, okay, Ayurvedic healers, all these people don't think that their life is easy. Okay, they are working through a lot of their karmas also through the clients, and so a lot of intense work goes on. Especially depends on the spiritual awakening of the astrologer or the healer, and then the sensitivity of their energies to the others. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make here is, you can imagine how many mantras or how many efforts the astrologer has to make to equate to that karmas that he's going through with the client. Like I said, sometimes I've gone through the process of reading a chart completely depleted of energy for a few days for no reason. Okay, and that's the efforts that goes into it. Okay, so point here, I do not know how many people chant mantras. Even if they know any mantras or if they chant any mantras, chanting is another level itself. Knowing itself is a big achievement in today's day and age. Okay, I do not know anyone who does that. But if they do, great. So if you're not doing that, okay, if you're not doing any mantras at all, and you are practicing astrology for a very long time, okay, my recommendation to you as a remedy to that or as a solution to that is always tell the truth. Okay, always tell the truth, and that's very important. Okay, because the truth is your dharma. Okay, and that is part of your life as an astrologer. Okay, that is your karma and dharma. All right, your power as an astrologer will deplete the moment you try to sugarcoat and the moment you try to avoid telling the truth. Okay, and of course, if you falsify information or you sugarcoat and tell those things that will make the client happy, which will make you get more money, that is even intense. That's even a wrong thing to do. Okay, at least that's what I've been taught in my tradition. I'm trying to give you that. Okay, and do not let anyone tell you how you should do a reading. Okay, not any client. Nobody should tell you how you should do a reading. That is the freedom that you have as an astrologer to work with that, because those people are not going to work with your karmas later, whatever you do. Okay, it is for you to decide how you want to do that and how you want to act. Okay, whether you will use the empathy and sympathy and work with them for several hours to make that happen, or whether you will be direct and you make those predictions, that's a different story. Okay, so you should be aware of where the client stands. Okay, that's very important to see what kind of reading you will do, but do not let anyone tell you how you should do that reading. Okay, such clients will only create self doubt, as I told you, and they will shunt your confidence and skills. In fact, they will block your intuition. Those people will block your intuition in and out, because you are working in a handicapped manner. They're telling you, see, this is it, this is the boundary I've set for you, you have to operate within that boundary. Okay, do not tell me anything more than that. I do not want to know this. It is fine if you are a sort of an astrologer who likes to do that, fine, but you know that it is connected. Like that example I gave you of that client of mine from London, she had same planet indicating several problems, right? So if I don't discuss to you about the relationship aspect of it, which is connected to your finances, which is connected to your relationship with your father, then I did something wrong there, because I failed as an astrologer. I did not tell you things that you are meant to hear. Okay, I hid that information from you. Hiding is also a problem now, right? Because that was not fair for me, because you made me not to tell. So you see, that's the point of view which you have to understand. That's a different ball game altogether. Okay. And the third point I want to bring here is the reading you do. You are only answerable to God. That's it, period. Okay. God has given you these skills for a reason. All right. Trust those skills. Trust is extremely important, not on others and everything else in the world. Trusting your own skills and your gut instincts in this field is extremely important. Okay, if you do not trust your skills, you will fail miserably. Okay, and those clients will come which will wreak havoc in your life to make you fail. Okay, so you have to be very much careful with the skills that you have and how you're operating. Okay, how you should do a reading. You should do a reading with God as a witness to that reading. Okay, that is very important to understand. You are not doing the reading as if you are operating to that. You are not doing it. Like, remember, you are not the doer. God is acting through you as a medium to communicate that to the client. Okay, keep this in mind always. Remember, remind yourself, either you do it in the reading at the very start, or during the process, or every day when you sit with the client's chart. Remind yourself, it is not me, it is not me, it is not me. God is operating through me. Okay, that's very important. And you're only answerable to the outcome of the reading to God. Okay, if you make a great prediction, fantastic. All right, and submit that as if it was like flowers to the feet of God. It's very important to think like that, because great prediction does not matter who did that prediction, God did that prediction. You failed miserably in the prediction. Submit that also at the feet of God. Okay, this will remove tension out of you. This will make you operate more freely. Okay, because whatever you do, you are telling that I'm not doing it, and a higher force is operating through me to do it. Okay, but again, be careful, because the moment you make a super prediction, don't think, oh, fantastic, this is me. Look at my skills. Look at my greatness here. I made such a fantastic prediction, right? And then you fail and you tell, see, God, you're not operating through me. You're not giving me the intuitive abilities to predict. That's not how it works. Both good, bad, whatever you make is at the hands of God. Okay. Very important, because you must feel satisfied that you are working through the channel of God. That is the main thing that you are getting out of it. You are seeing this as a service to God, and this will help you in your process as well. It will help you in your spiritual sadhana. It will help you in your elevating of your problems in life. Okay, it will help you in overcoming your ego problems. Okay, because that's also part of it, right? We are still working our issues at the same time. When we look at certain charts, for instance, some charts you will not be able to know why you made that prediction, but suddenly when reading that chart, you will get an insight all of a sudden about a new technique. It happens so many times to me. When I'm reading charts, I get insights like that. And then I go check my chart and I see, oh, this insight is very useful, and I found a new technique. It explains certain placements like this. Or I go check a friend's chart and I see this placement was there. So you have to let that free things to happen by itself. Do not control and say, oh no, no, this has to happen. Do not go step by step and this has to happen. You cannot be logical here. You have to think like a quantum computer, not like a modern day computer. We are in the realm of quantum computing in today's day and age. Okay, it's not like 1 plus 1 equals 2 now. It's very quick to get to 2. There could be other ways to get to 2 as well. Okay, so that's very important to keep in mind when it comes to surrendering to God, assuming the role of the medium, not the doer here as well. Okay, and whatever criticism you get, take it in the same manner as whatever appreciation you get. Very important. Do not get again inflated with your ego or deflated with your ego as and when these things happen, because it's not going to help. All right. So again, I have to reiterate the fact of the karma yogi here for even you or me as an astrologer. Okay, as Sri Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita, karmanye vadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma falaher bhurthu sangotsva karmani. Okay, so what he means here is that you are only meant to act. Okay, and doing the karma is only the thing that is up to you. The results of that karma, the rewards of those karma are not within your realm. The results, the rewards are like a side effect to your action. Whether you get those side effects, whether you get those rewards or actions, is decided by God. Okay, and you cannot sit idle and say, I will not do anything, and wait for things to happen, wait for results and rewards to come. Okay, as an astrologer, how will this apply to you? As an astrologer, the way this works for you is that your job is to make a reading happen. Okay, your job is to predict. Whether that prediction fruitified, whether that prediction failed miserably, does not matter. That is in the hands of God. If you do that, again, you see, if you do this, you remove so much of burden out of you, right? That pressure that is there, no, I have to get this reading right. That pressure that is there, that I have to nail this prediction to the date. Okay, oh, I failed this time. Am I good enough to do this work? Am I good enough to be an astrologer? Okay, I failed making even a simple prediction, whatever that might be. How did I miss this? Am I good enough to do this? No, you're not meant to think like that. Okay, you're not supposed to question those things. That is what was meant to be known at that point of time and space. Okay, so God is telling you, now you know that because you failed that time, now you know how to figure this out. Okay, later on you figure out a way why this happened. All right, it is not for you to decide when you will predict right or when you will fail miserably. All right, simple example I can tell you. Last year, all right, I was going through some very difficult times, and there were at least 4 deaths in my family. Okay, I predicted 3 of those deaths. One of them I did not. It was a bit of a surprise for me. So looking at it, right, 4 deaths in the family, all close people, all grandparents. Okay, very close, very deeply connected, bonded, and still going through that trauma, that pain, and knowing this was coming. Okay, I told my parents, my uncle, aunt, everyone that this we have to prepare. It is coming. All right, this is it. These dates. I predicted it exactly to the month for three of them. All right, knowing that this is coming did not make anything. And the surprise still, you see, I predicted three, but God surprised me once again, saying that there is a fourth. You missed that. You see, sometimes it will happen like that. Okay, sometimes you will get surprises that, there are four deaths coming, or there can be four events happening. You might predict two of them are a surprise. Like twins, for example, how many people plan for twin births? They will plan for one child, they will get another one as a surprise. So, yeah, it's a funny thing to say, but that's the reality of things sometimes, okay? So don't go in saying that this is it. Don't put that boundary. The possibilities are infinite, okay? You might figure out something else while you're doing the reading, which is not even a technique that you knew. Okay, be free with that. Be you know open to those kind of possibilities. All right, that's also something to keep in mind. Another thing I want to highlight here is whether you predict the right thing or the wrong thing or not does not matter. What is important is you're doing your dharma and karma properly. That is all that matters. That is what the karma yogi is telling you and the philosophy of that, right? You are seeing that as an act of service and you're submitting the results to God. That's it. Does not really matter whatever else happens in the process. See, astrology is very different from other spiritual sciences. Okay, there also you have to be like a karma yogi, but here you have to be a little bit more because you still have so much of knowledge which you can use it in the way right to make things better for the other person. Okay, but it's very easy to get caught in that and feel different, right? That's why I'm trying to give you that information. Okay, another thing also, be fair in your reading. Okay, be fair. What do I mean by that? It means do not treat someone different because they paid a lot of money, or if someone did not pay any money and if still they can benefit from your work, try to help if it's possible within your time limits. Okay, that's being fair. You're not treating anyone up and low. Okay, so if it's Joe Biden is coming to me for a reading today, and another person, let's say a simple example is sweeping the streets, and if that person comes to me for a reading, the treatment they will get is the same, because that is the truth. Does not matter. For me, I see God in both of them. In this lifetime, their roles are different. That's it. We cannot identify them with their work. We cannot identify with them for whatever they are. So we have to equally see them. There is no partiality in this. There is no up and down. There is no status quo or anything like that. Okay, so everyone is fair. Like I said, remember the example of Sahadeva, right? That's why I was giving all these examples in the beginning, because Sahadeva does not matter. Duryodhana came to him and he's asking him for a muhurta. He said the muhurta and he gave it to him. His arch enemy in the battle. Okay, so that is the reality of things. You have to be fair. You're all doing your work at the end of it. They're also doing their work. That's it. Okay. And the kind of work we do, the kind of work we are meant to do, whatever that work might be, if an astrologer or a software developer, a scientist, a politician, does not matter. That work, who should be pleased with that work? God must be pleased with that work. Shiva, he should be pleased with that work, whatever work you do. Okay, whatever God you believe in, because that is going to give you fulfillment. That is going to make you happy. If your work, no matter what you did, even though you did not maybe make the right kind of prediction or did not do the right kind of reading, still, if you did a fair attempt at it and you feel pleased about it and you think that was a fair attempt, that is good enough. There will not be any shame or guilt within you for that. Okay, so always try to, as I told, keep God as a witness and try to think that you're only working to please God, not anyone else. You have a fair attempt at the work, fair efforts have gone into that, and beyond that is in the realm of God. Because see, we are all still operating within the boundary of our skills. That is there. That boundary is limited for all of us. And an astrologer does not know everything. We are still in the dark ages. We do not know so many things about it, right? How many people I've met, I do not even, as of date, have proper understanding of the nakshatras, proper understanding of Rahu Ketu. So that means we are still operating and learning. As the yugas progress, we are going to get better at it. Nobody knows everything fully. So do not think you know everything. Do not also feel that the client and their expectations should be that this person has a certain limitation. He's also a human being, right? That expectations they have to set right here. Okay.